世界のみんなとつながろう Bridges across world communities.
Hello everyone and welcome to Bridges Across World Communities, sponsored by NIA, the Nishinomiya City International Association. My name is Thelma.
And I'm Floyd. Each month we provide practical knowledge for daily living and important information about disaster prevention.
This program is for English-speaking residents in the Nishinomiya area and is broadcast on the second Saturdays of each month from 12 noon to 12:15.
This month we'll talk about ways to avoid food poisoning during the rainy season.
Our disaster prevention tip is about preparing for heavy rainfall during the rainy season.
And we have the second half of our interview with Ms. Rebecca Kano, or Becky, originally from the U.S. and now living in Sanda City, Hyogo.
提供は西宮市国際交流協会です。
Hello, Thelma. Well, we're in Tsuyu, or rainy season again. Are you enjoying the hot and humid weather?
Hello, Floyd. Of course not, but I have to admit, I don't mind this weather as much as the even hotter and more humid summer weather that's coming soon.
Yeah, I agree with you there. By the way, this month's topic is about a danger we have to be aware of during the rainy season. Do you know what it is?
Bears?
Bears. Again? What's your thing with bears? No, the danger is food poisoning.
Oh, that's right. When it's hot and humid, we have to be careful about food management because under these weather conditions, bacteria can multiply at an incredible rate.
Yes, and if we eat food contaminated with bacteria, it could lead to serious food poisoning.
So let's go over 3 simple tips to help prevent food poisoning during this time of year. I like to call these tips the 3 C's: clean, cool, and cook.
Okay, so clean, I think that must refer to washing your hands with soap first and keeping your kitchen utensils and work surfaces clean while you're preparing food. For example, when you cut raw meat or fish on a cutting board, you should always use soap to clean the cutting board, knives, and utensils before moving on to preparing other foods. Now, if you don't, you could be spreading bacteria.
That's right. Now, in our home, we even use 3 separate cutting boards, one for meat and one for fish and one for fruit and vegetables.
That sounds like a good idea. Now, your second simple tip is cool. What does that mean?
Well, this may be the most important tip to remember during the rainy season. Always put purchased food and leftover in the fridge immediately. Now, leaving them at room temperature can cause bacteria to multiply to dangerous levels within a few hours.
All right, so you should keep your food cool by putting it in the fridge. But, I've heard people say that leaving curry out to rest overnight will give it a richer, stronger flavor the next day.
Well, that's only true during the colder winter months. During this time of year, once the pot has cooled down a bit, put it in the fridge immediately. Leaving it on the counter or stove all night is an absolute no-no.
Well, what about bringing bento boxes to school or work during the rainy season?
First of all, you should make sure the lunch has cooled thoroughly before closing the lid. Then, you should place an ice pack on top of the lunchbox, preferably in an insulated bag that can keep it cold. And lastly, when you arrive at school or work, the rule is to store your lunch in as cool a place as possible.
Yeah, I've seen these ice packs for sale at 100-yen shops, supermarkets, and other stores. And you can even get them for takeout at cake shops and sushi restaurants. So be sure to stock up. Now, let's move on to your third and last simple tip to prevent food poisoning, which you call cook. Now, what do you mean by that?
Well, that's short for cook thoroughly. Yes, most bacteria are sensitive to heat, so make sure you cook food thoroughly, especially when it comes to meat. As a guideline, cook the center of the food at least 1 minute after it reaches 75 degrees centigrade or higher.
So, for example, when reheating curry leftovers from the fridge, make sure to mix it thoroughly from the bottom of the pot and heat it until it sizzles. And if you think it looks or smells strange, don't hesitate to throw it out. It might be considered wasteful, but health and safety come first.
If you do experience symptoms of food poisoning like vomiting, diarrhea, fatigue, fever, etc., do not try to cure it with over-the-counter diarrhea medicine. Instead, seek medical attention promptly. If your symptoms are severe, or you cannot find a hospital on your own, please call the Emergency Safety Center Yogo pound 7119 for consultation.
This number offers free consultation 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and in multiple languages. For English, just say eigo onegai shimasu. Nurses and counselors who can understand your symptoms will advise you on whether you should call an ambulance, go to a hospital quickly, or which type of medical institution to visit.
So stay safe, everyone. Remember these 3 simple tips to prevent food poisoning: clean, cool, and cook.
Thoroughly.
7.7 Sakura FM.
And we would like to welcome back Becky Cano for the
Welcome.
second half of our interview.
Yeah, welcome back, Becky.
Thank you very much. I'm very glad to be here.
Now, last month we were talking, and just a real quick summary. You grew up in Connecticut in the
Yes.
States, and you were really interested in manga and anime. You got interested in Japan, and you ended up moving to Japan 26 years ago.
That's
I
right.
believe. And you've got a couple of kids. You're married. You got your own English school. And last time we left off, we were talking about your husband and getting
Okay.
married. So you apparently you got married very quick.
I did. It's kind of a funny story, shall I?
I'd love to hear.
Yeah. Okay. So we had been dating for not very long, only 2 or 3 months.
Now he was a former student of yours,
He
right?
was a former student, and so after I quit my job, I had liked him. I thought, this is somebody I could connect with. And when I quit, I, got in touch with him again, and then we started dating.
For private lessons?
No, actually, no English lessons at all. Just to hang. Actually, that's another funny story. We both enjoy playing mahjong, so we played mahjong together a few times. But so we started dating, and then one night I had stayed over his house, and at this point we already had gotten engaged, and we were going to get married, and he'd gone to meet my parents and everything like that. But I was staying over at his house, and I woke up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, and my leg was asleep, and I stepped out of bed, and my toe just cracked, and I broke one of the small bones in my toe.
Really?
And then, we went to the hospital and everything like that. And at the time, I didn't have, it was
The
a whole
medical
thing with the
insurance?
insurance, yeah. And then they said, if you get married today, you can be on the insurance. And we were going to get married anyway.
Does the hospital have a little chapel there?
We went right down to the city hall after that.
On the same day?
On the same day. So I have my wedding photos of me on crutches. And we've been married, almost 20 years now.
Wow.
It'll be 20 years next year. But yeah, it started out at the hospital.
From a broken toe.
And we always used to say it's orechatta kon.
What does that mean? What's the
I don't know if I want to explain the joke.
I'll leave it for the joke.
Okay, leave that for
I don't understand about. So that's quite a story. But so great way to get health insurance. Too.
Yeah. Well,
and to get a husband, I guess.
At the same time.
Now you mentioned also last month that you have your English school in
That's
Sanda.
right.
What's the name of the school?
The name of the school is Yes English School.
So
YES, Yes English School.
Okay. So it'll be very easy for people to find this online.
Very easy to find it. You can find it on Google Maps. You can Google it up and come on down.
Okay. So for anybody who wants English lessons, that'll be easy to check out. Now, is there any other kind of funny stories that happened to you, like moving to Japan? I mean, it must have been a big change for you moving from the States to Japan those years ago.
I mean, when I was at university, Japanese studies was what I studied, and I did a study abroad, and I did a homestay with a Japanese family, and so I kind of knew what I was getting into when I came over here, and I haven't had too many real big culture shock moments.
So what are your
honest.
plans for the future?
So at the moment, I'm a member of a little organization that we have in Sanda called Saboten Gairu, and that is a disaster preparedness organization. that is for Japanese and foreign residents of the city to work together and to improve their knowledge of what to do in case of a disaster. And so we have, for example, earlier this year, we had a demonstration of how to use an AED machine if someone has a heart attack. And then at the end of May, we had a disaster camp, or I should say survival camp, where you can go and learn survival skills, how to cook with minimal water in case of an earthquake, knot tying, how to do various easy first aid. So, and it's kind of to learn useful skills and at the same time build community with the Japanese residents and foreign residents.
It's interesting because on this program we have our disaster preparedness segment, so we're all, every month we're hearing about this. But I'm kind of curious, do you find that in general, Japanese people are prepared? Like, are they more prepared than, say, the foreigners? How do you find that knowledge?
That's a really good question. I think it varies so much from person to person. So some of the older guys who are kind of the mentors for our group, they really have so much information, and they can tell you about rolling stock and what exactly you should have in your disaster kit. But then I think the average person maybe doesn't necessarily have that information.
How about foreigners?
We want to anyway to get more people interested in it, because I think that the current level of information is maybe not as high as we would like it to be. We want people to be interested in this because it could be a matter of life and death.
Yeah, I get the impression that the longer you've lived here, the more you probably be likely to prepare, because you experience so many things: the earthquakes, the tsunami, typhoons, volcanoes, tsunamis. It's like there's always something.
Yeah, we had a few weeks ago quite a little shake in Sanda. I don't know if you guys felt it in Nishinomiya as well. Yeah.
I think I was in Nara. I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Quite a little shake.
So any confusion or difficulty of adjusting the culture in Japan?
People always ask me that, and I'm embarrassed that I don't have a story to tell. I did speak the language when I got here, because that's what I had studied at university. So I wasn't fluent by any means, but I could get by. I knew enough for daily conversation.
Good for you, really.
And I had studied Japanese culture, like that was what I had done. So
sounds like your transition was a lot smoother than most people we talked to.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Any advice to any advice to other
So my advice is study the language as much as you can.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing that's made the biggest difference.
I wish somebody told me that 16 years ago.
Because I work also as a translator and as an interpreter. So yeah.
Okay. So we're out of time, but it's been great talking to you. I want to wish you great success with your school, which sounds like it's already going well, and also remind people that the English lessons at NIA are doing very well.
Popular and fun.
Oh, thank you, Becky. Thanks for joining us, and
Thank you,
good luck
Thank
to you and
you
your
very
family.
much.
防災情報です。In Japan, when the seasons change from spring to summer, we experience many rainy days. We call this time of year Tsuyu or rainy season.
In the Kansai area where we live, the Tsuyu season usually starts around June 6th and ends around July 19th. During this time, there's an increased risk of heavy rains that can cause landslides and flooding. Now, here are a couple of simple things to do before the rains start.
First, carefully review both the Yogo CG hazard map and the Nishinomiya Bosai disaster prevention map. These maps clearly show any nearby hazardous areas and also the location of your nearest emergency shelters.
And second, prepare all your emergency items in advance for a quick evacuation.
And here are a few simple things to do after the rain starts.
Keep up to date with the latest weather information from reliable sources on TV, radio, and the internet.
If you live in a low-lying, flood-prone areas, put sandbags around your house to prevent flooding.
Also, try to avoid any unnecessary outings during the heavy rains.
Let's make this a safe Tsuyu season.
For applications and any other inquiries, contact NIA at 0798 328680 or send an email to nia@nishi.or.jp. Our English-speaking staff will be happy to help.
Please continue to be careful and stay safe.
提供は西宮市国際交流協会でした。
Have a great weekend, everyone.